In this week's episode, the world reacts to the defeat of Doflamingo and the freedom of Dressrosa. So yeah, Corey, this chapter, wow, a lot happened. Didn't even feature a single Straw Hat Pirate. Not one, which I thought was very interesting, because how often does that happen in a One Piece chapter?
Not too often. What's really cool about that is it also demonstrates that One Piece can totally play off the strengths of its side characters, which is a huge accomplishment.
And One Piece is known for the world it has created. And I think in this week's chapter, we really see this world is big. And the reactions and the ripple effects that's being sent out across the world with Doflamingo's defeat is large. And we get to see the real rulers of the world government for like the second time ever. And they
Which is a really big deal.
And they like hang out and they have emotions. They're just not like sitting in the shadows with like one word, you know, like execute, or like they're actually characters, and we're actually getting to see them. And we also get to see Akainu, not Akainu, is that
Akainu,
Akainu.
or Sakazuki. They give him like a...
Or the red dog.
Yeah.
We get to see him for like one of the first times since... We've seen him in the intro, so I guess they kind of spoiled his look. Yeah. But he got an official name card this week and everything, and it's good to see that character back, even though he's a complete asshole. And it just shows the whole power struggle going on in this world, which I found very interesting. Yeah,
the whole world government has kind of like this whole tug-of-war thing going on, where you have the elders who are, they're working for the world nobles. They're trying to sort of cover up everything. They don't want people to know about the entire destruction of Dressrosa. And at the same time, they're also trying to cover up Doflamingo's ass. And this does not sit well with Akainu whatsoever. No. And then the Cypher Pole, the CP9 guys, they're going to get involved. And then as soon as all of this is done, Akainu's like, okay, now I gotta clean up, I gotta get in contact with Fujitora, and he is pissed off at Fujitora in this week's chapter, because instead of Fujitora just reporting back to HQ so that they could cover up all this information, he decided to report it to all of the entire Navy, and Akainu's pissed. He's like, you should not have done this. We could have swept this under the rug. This is something that the public didn't need to know about. Now we gotta make things better. If you're gonna come back to HQ, you better come back with the heads of Law and Luffy. That is your only ultimatum. And you can see that this is completely conflicting with Fujitora. At the end of this chapter, they are literally screaming into their snail phones. They are so freaking pissed at each other. And that's just one element of this week's chapter. As we said, this week was all about seeing like the reaction from the different places in the One Piece world. We get to see the return of all of the supernovas, who are freaking great. I love these guys. First, let's talk about what I think is probably the biggest piece of information, which is Kid's Alliance. We already knew before that they were going to go after one of the emperors. They are going after red-haired Shanks. This is huge, man.
As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, one of two things is going to happen. Either they have a amazing strategy, like a baller strategy to get this guy.
And they better if they're going up against Red Hair.
Either they have an amazing strategy and they're going to find a way to trick his crew away from him. They're going to, distract him and make him spread his resources out so he doesn't have his crew with him and stuff. And then they're going to strike and maybe they'll get a chance at it. Or they have no idea what they're about to do and get their ass stomped, So I'm very excited to see how that plays out. And again, I think this is just so great in One Piece that they have all these side stories going off that I'm so interested in that don't even have anything to do with the Straw Hat Pirates. And that I feel like they're not going to play off screen and then come back and Shanks is going to be defeated. Like, holy shit, they better not do that.
If anything, this is a great opportunity to, finally show us what, Shanks and his crew are truly capable of. That's not to say that we don't know that they're powerful. We've seen a lot of hints to that in the future. But we've never seen, a situation where they have to kind of, try really hard or go all out.
Yeah.
But this would be a perfect opportunity to display their abilities. We get to see Usopp's dad again, which I think would be really freaking awesome. And just Shanks himself. He's a one-armed badass who's apparently one of these warlords, so apparently he's got to be something kind of special. So I really can't wait to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, his hockey level is so intense that people faint around him if he even turns it on. So I think that they I almost suspect that they don't really know what they're doing.
I don't either. And the other thing is, by starting a fight with red-haired Shanks, they're effectively starting a fight with the Straw Hat Pirates. Because there's no way that Luffy's just going to stand for this. He's not going to allow them to attack one of his best friends and arguably the person who pushed him to becoming a pirate in the first place.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Shanks is... If Luffy was going to defeat all the warlords... Not warlords, what are they called?
the emperors.
The four emperors?
The emperors, yes.
Definitely Shanks would be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if someone prematurely attacks him, Luffy's gonna do something about it, you know?
I almost think it might, I don't know if it's too early or maybe it's too late to even start pulling the trigger on red-haired Shanks, because, you know, this is a character who's been around for a long time, and he's always been implied to be incredibly powerful, but I don't know, I really can't wait to see how this is all going to brew, because, you know, it's not just Shanks. Really, this whole chapter does involve every single main emperor. So, we got Shanks. We also have Blackbeard, who's also mentioned in passing, because apparently Kuzan, or Aokiji, the ice guy, is tied with him in power. But this could also mean that maybe he's possibly working with Blackbeard, or maybe even trying to infiltrate his ship. Why is he trying to do this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that that's heavily... What you took away from that is maybe more implied, and maybe they purely meant, hey, there's these two people out there that are at the same level strength.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not working together, maybe they are. Very vague in that sense, you know, but definitely something that needs to be mentioned. And then what else happened?
We had Kaido of the Beasts, who may or may not have made an appearance in this week's chapter. We get to go back to X-Drake, the Tyrannosaurus Rex guy, which... God, that guy's so cool. I can't wait to see him again. Just the fact that he can turn into a T-Rex is awesome. But apparently he's also working with Kaido of the Beasts, and there's this scene where a lot of his followers are trying to find Kaido and let him know that Doflamingo has been defeated. Our entire organization is about to be screwed. And you can see in the background is this massive shadowy figure, which may or may not be Kaido. It has these horns. It could be a beast. It could be something that's related to him. It could be just one of Kaido's pets. We're going to have to wait and see, because he's known as Kaido of the Beasts, which could mean so many different things. You know, he's probably a zone-type devil fruit user, or maybe he just has this collection of ridiculous monsters on Monster Island. Maybe this makes sense as to why X-Drake actually works with him, because he himself is also a zone-type, and a very rare zone-type at that. And, of course, we have to remember that Kaido is also connected with Doflamingo, who is creating these special devil fruits, which also just happen to be zone as well.
And Kaido was a real badass. Like, Doflamingo straight up feared Kaido. Like, he was like that was originally Law's plan. Fuck up your Smiley Factory, fuck up the Smile Factory, and then have Kaido come here and take you out. And because he knew Kaido was that strong. So, having Kaido on the Straw Hats or the Luffy Law Alliance side is a bad thing, you know, because they're going to definitely come and bring the rain, as they say in Transformers.
Exactly. I don't really like those movies that much, but I do like that line still.
Yes.
I can't help it. The other big emperor, though, we have, of course, is Big Mom herself, which technically does not make an appearance in this week's chapter, but this is something that is really hard to miss if you don't look for it. We get to see another one of the supernovas, Capone, who's the stereotypical-looking mafia mobster guy. We get to see that the ship he is on might actually be one of Big Mom's ships or something that's related to, like, her fleet, because if you look in the small panel, you can see this pirate flag, and it seems to have her Jolly Roger on it, and you can even see, like, the candy and the cake and icing, which she has all over her ships that are, like, dripping off the sides. You can see the candy cane paneling that's actually above him, so there's a possibility that Capone could also be working with Big Mom, which means Capone's also going to be involved with what's going on with Sanji and Chopper and Nami and their group, as they've currently been captured or they're running away from Big Mom.
And what about Blackbeard? Nothing.
Nothing.
Actually, nothing about Blackbeard. So
aside from the whole Kuzan Aokiji thing.
Yes, that's true. Besides that, so we pretty much covered every, like, we're seeing how all this is affecting the world, and I really enjoyed this chapter. Like, I straight up 5 out of 5, no problem, and that's rare because there wasn't a piece of action in it. And not a single Straw Hat Pirate, which again, I think goes to the ability of Oda to make a world that's that involved that he doesn't even need to include his main characters. So yeah, what do you think? What rating?
I'm also going to give it a 5 out of 5. I was really shocked by the events. I like that they finally incorporated all of the Emperors. We got to see all the Supernovas again. We didn't even mention Bonnie and Uruge, who is the angel guy who looks like he's from a section of Skypiea or something that's related to it. It looks like he actually got into a battle recently and that he's recovering from that. I can't wait to see why that is, because I always thought that he was a really cool and well-designed character, just like the other Supernovas, who all look great.
Yeah, and then we also had, what's-his-name eating spaghetti through his mask.
Yeah, Killer. That was a really funny detail. That's the type of thing that only, like, flies in One Piece. I think that's really funny, because, like, his whole thing is, like, he never takes off his mask. Like, how in the hell does he eat? Does he have to, like, use a straw to, like, eat spaghetti?
Does he pick up at one piece at a time and, like, suck it through?
God, that would take hours.
He's on a milkshake and spaghetti diet.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just random, but that's what builds the One Piece world, all those little elements. And yeah, so I really love this chapter. So if you guys liked it, let us know in the comment section below. There's just a ton of stuff going on in this one. I think we almost just rambled on for a while with this review, but there's just that much stuff. So let us know in the comments what you thought, what you want to see, what you liked, what you didn't like. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you want to support us, use our Amazon link where you just go to Amazon and buy things and we get like a percentage of what you buy. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out. And then if you want to just straight donate to the channel, use our PayPal link. All that's in the comment section below. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We really appreciate all the views, comments, thumbs up. That's what keeps us going, or else we'd just be people talking to a camera by ourselves.
Yeah.
But you justify everything. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, stay dandy, baby.